Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a product of Agoracom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives after they put out important news. With us today, guys, you're going to love this one. If you love the NFL, if you love tech and augmented reality, then wait till you see what we're talking about. Alan Paul Silverstein is the president and CEO of ImagineAR, trades in Canada, the stock symbol IP for our friends GDS, on the stock symbol IPNFF. In fact, usually I go into a bit of an intro here. But I'm going to go straight to this headline because I love it. It's a fantastic headline, which is ImagineAR signs first NFL team, Baltimore Ravens, to a 2-year agreement to deliver interactive mobile augmented reality fan experiences. And for everyone at home, if you're seeing this for the first time because maybe you're an NFL fan or Raven fan, or finally someone from Agoracom who said, I got to take a close look at this. Also remember that the company on the sports side is dominated with the likes of NFL alumni, the 2 biggest soccer teams in Spain, the Supercopa de Brazil winners in 2022 and the Copa de Brazil winners in 2021. Big Papi Ortiz, Tyson Fury, Ric Flair, Johnny Damon, Von Miller. So they're dominating augmented reality on the sports side. And now this big first agreement with an NFL team. Alan, AP, welcome back. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, George. It's good talking to you. It's a good Monday. It took a lot of work to get where we went, but we finally pulled it off. And, you know, they always say, welcome to the NFL. And it took years. And even in one of the interviews, the head of innovation, Dave Lang, said, we've known about ImagineAR for years. And at this point, we thought it was ready to go in with them and deliver fan engagement fully integrated with their app. So it's a big day. You know, we used to laugh when we started the Erie Seawolves and the Erie Bayhawks, and we always say you can't get to the major leagues unless you spend your time, you know, starting at the lower levels. And I think, you know, hopefully
you start in the minor leagues, just like a player. You got to start your augmented reality in the minor leagues. You prove yourself. Now you're at the top.
Exactly. And this is our second big Baltimore client, right? Because we just closed McCormick's, the $6 billion Fortune 500 company, to do work with them integrated. And now we got the Baltimore Ravens for a 2-year partnership, rev share relationship. We're going to deliver fan engagement fully integrated with their app. And the other big news, obviously, besides welcome to the NFL, and we think this is going to be a showpiece, a showcase for us, for the league, not only for the NFL, but their mobile app provider who's integrating it. Once they get the integration done and completed, they've got quite a bit of clients, which you probably could take a look at, that we can now target to provide our AR platform, since the integration is already built, and then have it brought to their apps as well. And they have a tremendous reputation in the world of the NBA, the NFL. They expanded to the NHL. They got colleges. So it is a big, major win for the company, certainly. And I think strategically, it has a lot of value that's going to put a lot of new opportunities into the sales funnel very quickly in 2022 and into 2023.
So I'm not overstating when I say today is another legit milestone day for the company. I mean, it was a big one when you know on Fame Days. It was a big one when you signed McCormick. That was really big. You know, how big is this one? Because the great thing about this one is you've got 31 other NFL teams, and it's a very small family, very big market, and they all watch each other. So are you optimistic that, you know, this could lead to, I'm not actually printing to make a prediction, but where there's one, there's usually more, right?
That's a very good point. And we were actually in conversations directly with Yinscam in terms of entering into this agreement as well. And they also recommended the Baltimore Ravens, who already expressed interest and we have a relationship with, saying they are looked as a tech leader in the NFL as well. So their feeling is if you can get the Baltimore Ravens up running, provide some demonstrable ROI, some sponsorship activations, and really demonstrate the fan engagement opportunity, not only here in North America, but there's huge Baltimore Raven fan population in the UK, which I had no idea of. They call them the flock around the world. Then the feeling is, yes, this can open up a lot of new sales pipeline opportunities, not only in the NFL, but as well as the NBA and some other leagues and teams. So this is a major milestone. We had been pursuing Yinscam and the mobile app developer for quite a while. We've been pursuing Ravens for years. And, you know, stockholders, everybody wants it overnight. Everyone wants it immediate. Never gets a deal. But, you know, unfortunately, there's a path to take. COVID delayed quite a bit, obviously, because you didn't have in-stadium activation opportunities. But at the same time, it sped up the adoption of AR being part of, quote, the metaverse. And we're feeling very confident after McCormick, the Raldondino app. I don't know if you had the opportunity to download it, one of the greatest soccer legends in history, but
Not yet, no, but we'll do
that
it.
that app is off the chart. The development team with him has done a spectacular job in leveraging our platform and adding a social media component to it as well. So this is just building upon building the story and getting it out there. And we're very confident and optimistic that the Ravens see it, they understand what to do with it, and we'll work closely with Dave Lang, the head of innovation, and Kevin Rockless, who's the chief sales officer, who brought us in. He has a relationship. There's a gentleman in our company called Neil Badesky. Neil's been with us for a few years, and he had the relationship. So it's all playing out to really now get on the big stage. And we think it's finally, obviously we preferred a year ago, but I think with what's been occurring with our recent apps with McCormick and Raldondino, professional bull riders, we are well positioned now to move to the big leagues, not only here in North America, but around the world.
You've had great success in multiple verticals. On the corporate world, Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada, largest drugstore chain in the country, and one of the biggest in North America. We talked about McCormick. On the entertainment side, Grubhub Soundbites, where you did the AR codes for Megan Thee Stallion and Noah Cyrus. But it seems like on the sports side, you've really taken off. You're not a one-trick pony, you're not a one vertical pony, but it seems like in this one vertical, you've really taken off. Why is that? And are you going to keep driving towards that? Because it seems like the sports world really loves ImagineAR solutions.
Well, sports is a great hub. It's somewhere where we started and focused when we began getting into AR, obviously, because we saw the opportunity. Sports brings you a lot of attention. It gets you some good press. And then sports brings you the brands, and the brands bring the money. And that was the feeling that that formula would make sense. And sports, due to COVID, had a huge gap in terms of fan engagement and how they were going to rebuild their community and then monetize it in the next level. And they're looking for younger fans. This is what we hear, over and over. How do you get to the new younger fan base who's sitting on TikTok, Insta, looking into esports, and they don't necessarily want to go a game, but they want that social interaction, that digital interaction. And AR is a natural pathway to build out that next generation fan, to get them in the stadium, supporting the team, sponsorship opportunities, purchase merch, and building the next generation audience. So that's one area, obviously, we've always focused on. We'll continue to focus as we go forward. And certainly with this relationship with YinzCam and Baltimore Ravens, I think this is going to open up quite a bit of opportunity. And also it gives a tremendous amount of referenceability and credibility to the company to get to that level. And certainly this press release went to a lot of the sales pipeline opportunities as well, obviously, to demonstrate that we were selected by an NFL franchise, which is considered, again, one of the leaders in the world of tech. And hopefully that helps drive further revenue for the company this year and going forward into 2023 as well.
You mentioned YinzCam a couple of times, and because they're such an important part of this. Well, let's do a little deep dive into it, because I picked that up as a little morsel inside the press release. A lot of people focusing on the Ravens, and rightfully they should. But the quote is, YinzCam, the Ravens app developer, is the leading global sports mobile app provider, and we're expecting this fall launch to be a showcase of our AR for NFL and other leagues. How is it's almost like, from a biz dev point of view, YinzCam might actually be the bigger part of this, because they do the work for how many different teams? You tell us how many different teams they do the work for?
You look at the website, it's like probably over 100 plus, maybe even longer. And then they got leagues as well. And
wow,
the CEO, Priya, is very well known. She's been doing this 10, 11 years and has been extremely successful in sports. And at the end, of most decision-making for sports organizations, it's always going to involve the mobile app development team. It just has to. And they will make the final decision for the integration, yes or no, the timing to do it. So that relationship, that approval participation is key. And by working with it recently, with YinzCam and the executives there, and able to get the Baltimore Ravens to the finish line, we feel very optimistic and confident that once this is integrated once, then it could be duplicated over and over again like a cookie cutter, because their mobile apps are very similar for all teams and all leagues. So once they develop that iOS and Android interface and their version of taking our SDK into their app, then it's just a matter of plugging it into each app along the way. So yes, as a biz dev opportunity, we think this is going to offer us a tremendous pipeline opportunity to get the Ravens up and running, get that Keystone client up, and then leverage that, because then we can go to other teams and organizations as part of their client list and move them relatively quickly because the development, the big hurdle has already been overcome. They're not going to endorse us. And at the end, we got to prove out it works. But if it does, it opens up a tremendous opportunity to clients worldwide. And also we're pursuing other organizations outside of sports. So I think the Ravens sign off in today's press release that came out also is important in establishing who we are as a leader for both retail, consumer product groups, entertainment, and other vertical markets we've been in conversations with as well.
A big component of whether you're going to be able to close a lot of those pipeline opportunities and all that comes down to, is the world ready for augmented reality? You and I, anybody watching our interviews, knew that I was very bullish as early as 2020,
Yep.
but then COVID hit and AR takes place in the real world, and nobody's in the real world. Everyone's at home. There are no stadiums, no arenas were full, none of that. So you're a couple of years behind, not from any fault of your own, but we know that this market is going to grow by a compound annual growth rate at 45% from 330 billion, up to 330 billion in 2028. So here's the question I have for you. What are you seeing in terms of appetite and acceptance of AR as a valuable engagement and marketing and engagement tool today versus what you're seeing in 2020 before COVID hit and you had this great pipeline that just kind of deflated, unfortunately, because of COVID?
That's an excellent question, George, and it positions it correctly. Where before it's a great tech, yes, everyone's excited, but no one saw a solution opportunity. Where do I use it? How do I monetize? How I build community? COVID hit, put everything on hold, but then allowed certain technology platforms to get a lot of attention, AR being one. And obviously, how many times do you hear metaverse, George, right? Everyone's metaverse. Citibank just came out, they said the metaverse economy could be worth $13 trillion by 2030 with 5 billion users. Now think of that. Of that 13 trillion, there's really a few key components. The main, like I say, is three-legged stool: AR, VR, virtual worlds, tuck in a little NFT action on the side. Although the NFT market collapsed, I think there'll be growth going forward. But certainly AR, VR, virtual world, AR is a key area and it's available today. You do not need the glasses and using mobile phones. So you're seeing organizations who understand what AR is now, which used to be a challenge, a year or two ago, have absolutely dabbled in it and now are looking for new sponsorship opportunities, fan engagement opportunities, because you can grow your fan base outside of your border. It's not fans anymore, just at the specific ballpark, at specific cities. And that growth opportunity.
Pokemon Go showed us that, right? Pokemon Go grew a fan base around the world and activated them all because of those scavenger hunts, which is a very primary use of augmented reality, but is incredibly effective. So same goes for all these sports teams and all your potential customers.
Exactly. So they're looking for that neck engagement. Certainly when you hear like MLB, and then, for example, the average age of the fan is 57 years old. They've got a generational issue that they've got to figure out how to close and build those personalities, build engagement, build community, and drive new revenue. The NFL has done a great job. You got the Giddy with the dance, you got the personalities, you got Tom Brady, a lot around there that NFL is number one. And for us, huge win to have it. At the same time, we think sports is going to continue to look to overcome that challenge. How do I get the next generation involved that has so much opportunity of content in TikTok and Insta and esports and this and this? How do I get them to follow the team like we grew up watching team? Like I'm watching, I got my Yankees sweatshirt on, still big Yankee fan going in.
Ooh, sorry, who's that?
The Red Sox, all those Red Sox Canadian fans. So at the end, it's something that franchises, sports, but also CPG, they got to build that gap. How do I get that next generation? And that's where everyone's got a mobile phone, everyone's got access to it, and that engagement opportunity leveraging AR is going to be there. Metaverse is being pushed heavily out there as a strategy, and certainly AR being the main component of it today.
And are you feeling the conversation is just different, whereas George Cohn was talking about AR back in 2020, kicking tires, trying to wrap their mind around it? Is it a different conversation today than it was a year ago or even 2 years ago?
Yeah, absolutely. It's completely there. The market is educated. They've dabbled in it, as I said, they've played with it. Dave Lang, head of innovation for Baltimore Ravens, did an interview with me, and he said, we had some hits, we had some misses, and we've been talking to ImagineAR for a couple of years, and we see their platform is very dynamic. It's instant, and that's why we decided to go ahead with it. It grew up so that you're seeing that, which helps us, right? We we've invested a lot in this platform through the years. We have patents around it. We really have focused on the tech, and now that commercialization opportunity is opening up because there are companies out looking for AR. The same with Gray Advertising and McCormick, right? They have the Flavor Maker app, huge, app used out there, major usage, major consumer interaction, looking for how do I give something new and experiential for the next audience to open the McCormick Flavor Maker app and have a cool interaction they could share virally, potentially, in social media. And that's where AR is going to find a home. And that's how it's continued growth. And I think you're going to see a growth beyond the sports and entertainment, like I said, into CPG, healthcare, education, going further and further, where AR now really is becoming a mainstay as a consideration for a digital communication channel program. That is a must-have, not a nice-to-have.
Last question for you. And, because people can't accuse us of scripting this or being a rah kind of session, even though it's an exciting day, but I have to express some disappointment. I need you to answer this question, which is, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and you went with the Baltimore Ravens first. You cut me deep on that one, but I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. Will you make sure the Cowboys are, number 2 or on the list or something like that? Because
we don't have control over the teams at the end of the day who steps up and do it. But the Dallas Cowboys a couple of years did the photo booth machine, which they called AR. I don't know if you remember seeing that, where fans would line up in stadium, and the machine is not low cost. It's pretty expensive, and you pick the players and you take a photo, and they called it the AR experience. Really, it was like the wedding bar mitzvah photo booth. So they did great, because once that came out, a lot of teams, including the Ravens, went out looking and say, hey, we want something similar, but hey, what's great? Why would you want a machine if I could do the same thing with holograms and getting high quality, images with players, but do it on a mobile phone anywhere you are, integrating your app? It's a no-brainer. So it actually helped us a lot. And we'll see if we come back to the Cowboys. But right now, I don't have my hat. I say go Ravens. I grew up a Giant fan, but I'm still going to say go Ravens, and let's see where we can go from here.
Hey, go Ravens all the way to the AFC Championship, go to the Super Bowl. But at that point, if they're facing the Cowboys, I got to go Cowboys. But until then, I hope the Ravens go 16-0 because they're great friends of ImagineAR. And Bunny, today, the Ravens have vindicated for, we know you get, we all know CEOs get flack online because the complainers are on Twitter and all these places. But the fact of the matter is 95% of your shareholders believe in you. They believe in the technology. They know it's just been a rough ride for the market, plus COVID and all that. But today seems like a day where the Ravens help vindicate shareholders to believe once again, if they lost any faith, that this is the leading technology, and it just got its stamp of approval from the Ravens.
Exactly. That is a major. I thought McCormick was a big one as well, but certainly this is a big one. And there are a few, and there's a couple of specific shareholders who've been through thick and thin with us for years, large shareholders, very supportive through everything. I don't think there's a microcap CEO who does not want to see the value of their stock to reflect what they believe it should be. And nobody wants to have a red day, and everything always takes twice as long and twice as much money as they want. And that's just part of the process. And certainly COVID is a never before seen event that greatly impacted all microcaps. And I'm sure, George, you can do a whole podcast just on that and how it's been brutal. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a grind to get where you go. And we started, and it took a long time. And, certainly, like you said, this is a major milestone to have YinzCam, Baltimore Ravens step up, sign an agreement, and move forward. And I think it's certainly going to help the company position ourselves as a leader in sports fan engagement using AR, but additionally open up other vertical markets as well, because we've established that credibility with the NFL.
And I'm going to end off with this. That's why Agoracom, as most people know, we have a shares for services relationship with you. I've never sold a share of ImagineAR because I've been waiting, and that was before COVID, but I don't regret any of it. I've been waiting for the day when augmented reality, and it's here. We see the headlines, we see the news that Apple and Facebook and maybe even Google be coming out devices, lenses in first quarter of 2023. We haven't even seen the beginning of this. So what's awesome is that's coming, but the only companies that are going to go for a ride on that and be successful are those that have real solutions. George Calm Augmented Reality isn't going to make it just because augmented reality is going to be a $300 billion market. But ImagineAR, now you're going to have your chance. And look, you're already showing, you're already proving it. Can't wait to have you back, my friend. But today, congratulations to you, the team. and congratulations to the shareholders, because this is a great.
Thank you very much, George. It's greatly appreciated. I know you've always been a big fan of ours. We appreciate your support. The shareholders who remain with us and been loyal and good, we thank them for all their kind words, support. A lot of them are out tweeting. They're out on social media platforms. Truly appreciate it. We see it. We love it. And we will continue to work as hard as we can to continue to grow the company. And hopefully everything will work out great. And we'll have a green day more than a red day.
And hey, on that note, for everyone at home, make sure you retweet, share it to your networks, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, share the headlines from the company, from Agoracom about the Ravens. You know, small cap shareholders are looking for great companies that are going to survive this correction. You know, the Georgecoms, the empty suit companies are going to die, but the ImagineARs of the world have a really strong possibility of surviving and thriving. That's a strong possibility part, because this proves itself. Share it with everybody, but today let's all exchange pleasantries and congratulations. And AP, hope to have you back real soon, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you again, George, and thank you for everyone out there. And thank you to our loyal shareholders as well. We go back to work and hopefully see you sooner than later.
For everybody at home, you're watching AP Silverstein, President CEO of ImagineAR, trades in Canada under IP, for friends in the S, under IPNFF. If you're new to the story, get to the company's profile page on Agoracom, because there's a lot going on here in terms of technology, customers, verticals. We got neatly laid out for you. And then once you got that nice base knowledge of understanding, head over to the company's website, do your deep dive due diligence. Because if you believe that augmented reality is going to hit that $330 billion market by 2028, 46% annual compounded growth for the next 5 or 6 years, then you've got to do your due diligence on ImagineAR. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. See you next time. Hey guys, the video's over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our YouTube channel so you never miss another great Agoracom small cap video.